Hello, everyone. I just wanted to go over a few things about Chapter 1. Not going to go into a whole lot of detail. There's not a lot of technical stuff in the chapter. There's a lot of overview. We're just going to skim over a lot of stuff that we really go into detail in later in the semester. But I did just want to hit a couple of the high points. I hope you all are navigating through the course well. I hope you've gotten a feel for it. I hope you're starting to feel comfortable about things. One of the big things for the first chapter and the first unit is really going to be discovering how you work best in the class. Whether it's going to be doing this first, doing that first, whatever. So everybody's going to have to kind of figure that out for their own selves because we all learn a little bit differently. But I hope that you are starting to feel comfortable and starting to get a feel for your best type of learning for the course. So, with all that being said, like I said, I just wanted to go over just a couple things from Chapter 1. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but just wanted to hit on just a few of the high points and leave it at that. And so, hopefully you've already read the chapter. You can still watch this if you haven't read it, but don't let this be in lieu of reading the chapter. So definitely go and read the chapter. And like I said, this is just going to kind of just pull out a few things to highlight from the chapter, but it is by no means everything that's there. So definitely make sure that you read it. The chapter basically starts off talking about, the chapter is actually called What You Eat and Why, and it starts off just talking about why you choose the foods that you eat. It's pretty common knowledge for all of us. I think we can all sit down and list reasons why we pick what we eat. We eat it because we like it. It's appealing to us. It has a good flavor, it has a good texture, good mouthfeel, those type things. It's stuff that we've grown up eating. We were introduced to foods at early age. We established eating habits at young ages. So these are things that we've known for a while. Also, your book talks about, I'll do it in the order of the book. I always have some cheat sheets handy. So just so because I will get off track if I don't. Routine. Is cereal for breakfast a part of your routine? Do you eat this certain food on this day of the week? Is there a certain thing that you have on Sundays? Is there a certain thing? Do you have pizza on Saturday nights? Or is there just certain things that we end up establishing as tradition, as habit, possibly without even realizing it. Let's see, a couple other things. Advertising. We're constantly pelted with advertising. Pay attention. Sometimes it seems that the later at night it gets, the worse that the food is that's advertised to us. I think that, are they on about the 12th meal, it seems, with some of the ads on television? But I do feel that later on at night you're definitely not being advertised the really good wholesome stuff. And that kind of goes along with restaurant dining. Sometimes we don't always eat the best things in restaurants, chock full of kilocalories. Convenience, that's a big one. You guys know that. You guys have really busy lives. You sometimes have to eat what you can get and take it on the run. And sometimes it's what's convenient, and that is what you get, and such as that. So convenience is a big one. Also economics. Again, that can also affect your college kids a lot, because you guys probably don't have a lot of extra money to go out to eat at nice restaurants, or to go buy a lot of fresh foods or things like that to cook. Sometimes you have to take what you can get, and that's kind of how it happens in that stage of life. And that kind of segues into something that's at the very end of the chapter. It is a section on college students, college life, nutrition during college, weight gain during college, different things like that. Eating disorders can be developed in college, and that is something that factors in, and that factors into to your eating habits as college students. The other thing, and your book I think actually quotes it last but not least, is also the nutrition content of the food. Is it a healthy food? Are you making choices to eat the foods that you eat because they're healthy? So that's a big question. That's a big thing to think about. book progresses on, talks about why you choose what you eat. Then it goes to talk about why are you hungry? What's going on when you're hungry? And you actually have a homework question that discusses this. And the book goes into the comparison between your hunger and your appetite. Hunger is going to be that physiological drive that you have. It's going to be your internal cues that actually legitimately say, I need food. I gotta have food. My body's gotta have food. Appetite, it's more up here. It's more your psychological drive. It's gonna come from external cues. You see that commercial at midnight when you're studying for a test and you're hungry, and that's, well, I shouldn't say that you're hungry. I should say that your appetite gets stimulated, because you're going to see those cues. It's going to make you want to go eat. I think typically most nutrition books use the example of, you see a big huge piece of chocolate cake. You've already eaten. You think that you're full, but oh, there's a big nice slab of chocolate cake. So that's your appetite that's kicking in. When you are feeling full, you feel satisfied, that's going to be when satiety occurs. Sometimes you hear it sometimes you hear it pronounced satiety, satiety. It's the same thing, but that's going to be that feeling of fullness, of satisfaction. That's going to be when hunger, appetite, when they have been met. And you actually have a satiety center, and you also have a feeding center. And these guys are in the hypothalamus of your brain, and they kind of work back and forth in a complex way, but they work back and forth to determine what's going on, if you're experiencing satiety or not. Okay, quickly, I'll move right along. Your book goes along to talk about just nutrition as a whole, why we study it. Basically, what we do is we want to link foods to certain health states, to possibly to disease, and the other thing that we study with to disease, and also to being healthy. I should note that as well. And the other things that we really talk about in nutrition is we talk about the actual ingestion of the nutrients, how they're processed by the body, how they're digested, how they're metabolized, they're excreted. You get the actual nutrients that are used inside of your body. How are those absorbed? How are they transported? So those are the types of things that we're going to look at across the semester. So throughout the whole semester, we're going to look at those things with nutrition. So we talk about nutrients. Your book talks about essential nutrients. You're going to hear a lot about essential nutrients during the course of the semester. Basically, if a nutrient is essential, it's going to meet 3 criteria. First one is going to be that it is actually linked to a body function. So the body's going to need it to perform a certain function. Second thing for a nutrient to be essential is going to be that if that nutrient is omitted from the body, if the body's not getting it in the diet, then there's going to be a problem. Problems are going to be experienced with that function that it's been linked to. So you got to link it to a function. If it's omitted, then you're going to have problems with that function. And then the third thing that makes a nutrient an essential nutrient is if it's replenished before permanent damage occurs. If it gets replenished, then those functions are going to return back to normal. So those are some criteria for, or the criteria for a nutrient being an essential nutrient. Now your book gives 6 classes of nutrients, and you actually have a homework question about this as well. These guys we will talk so much more about during the semester. I'm just going to basically just give you like a sentence or two about each one, because we will talk so much about them later on, and there's like a chapter for each one. I think water and minerals are together in one chapter, but other than that, you got chapters for each of these guys. So quickly condensing, carbohydrates. Those guys are made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. You got your simple carbohydrates, or your sugars. Your complex carbohydrates, those are going to be like your starches and your fibers. Carbohydrates are important for energy. Glucose, it's a big energy guy for your cells, especially like your brain cells. You gotta have glucose. So and it yields 4 kilocalories per gram. carbohydrates yield 4 kilocalories per gram. We'll talk about that in just a second, a little bit more. Next, guys, lipids. Lipids are also known as your fats and oils. Fats are solid at room temperature. Oils are liquid at room temperature. So fats, you think about your animal fats, your saturated fats. Oils, you think about your plant oils, your vegetable oils. So that's your difference in your fats and oils. Fats are going to give you 9 kilocalories per gram. These guys are important for energy storage. You have essential fatty acids that are important. Remember, we talked about essential just a second ago. Next, guys, proteins. Proteins do a lot. I should mention fats are composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen as well, just like carbohydrates. Completely different arrangements, but same atoms. Proteins, these guys are composed of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. So that's what makes them very different. They're going to be composed of nitrogen, made up of amino acids. Lots of functions for proteins: hormones, enzymes, immune function. They're important in just your body maintenance, just the structure of your body. You get those in meats, eggs, beans, and proteins are going to yield 4 kilocalories per gram. Next, guys, mention the fourth category of nutrients, vitamins. Vitamins do not have a kilocalorie yield, so you don't directly derive calories from vitamins. They do participate in lots of chemical reactions, so and in some reactions that do produce energy, but they themselves are not kilocalorie yielders. So your vitamins, they're going to enable chemical reactions. You got 2 categories: fat soluble, water soluble. Fat soluble, that's vitamin A, D, E, and K, and your water soluble, that's going to be your B vitamins, vitamin C. Fat soluble will be stored by the body, stored in the fat in the body. Water soluble will be passed out of the body, so passed out with the urine in the body. Fifth category, minerals. Minerals are inorganic. That means that they don't have any carbon atoms, no carbons there. You have major minerals and you have trace minerals. Only difference is the amount the body needs. Importance is not the difference between major and trace minerals. The difference is the amount that the body requires. Major minerals, it's over 100 milligrams per day. Trace, it's under 100 milligrams per day. Equally important, it's just the amount that you require. Water. Water is not going to directly yield energy, but it is important for a lot of things. Chemical reactions, a lot of them need to be in a water medium and a water basis. It's a solvent, lubricant, transport of nutrients. Water is very important. One quick thing I want to add, I mentioned that carbohydrates can yield 4 kilocalories per gram, lipids 9 kilocalories per gram, protein 4 kilocalories per gram. These are your energy yielders. You're going to need to know how to calculate the kilocalories in the food, the amount of calories that are present in the food. And there are directions on how to do this on page 16. So there are examples of how to do this. So look that over. Make sure you know how to do that. You're going to have a homework problem about that, and you will probably, more than likely, be asked to do that again on a test. So make sure you understand that. If you don't understand it, drop me online and let me know. The rest of the chapter, it's kind of stuff that you can read over. It talks about Healthy People 2012, some health initiatives. Oh, one other thing is on page, I skipped over this and I didn't mean to, on page 10, there's some health, lots of leading causes of death, the top leading causes of death in the United States, and how some of those relate to nutrition. And but then the rest of the chapter, like I said, deals with better health initiatives, the health status of the U.S., importance of having a good diet, and how our diet stacks up. And like I said, the section at the end of the chapter, which follows up about college students and their diet and eating well in college. And so hopefully you guys will find that interesting. And like I said, this is just kind of just a quick overview, but I hope that you'll find it helpful. Thanks.